Angie and Gino were the perfect parenting pair. They could not be happier with their two wonderful sons. But they always wanted a little girl, and prayed that they would be blessed with one. After years of hoping, it seemed like their prayers were answered, or so it seemed. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of our channel. Today, we follow the unusual journey of a couple who prayed for a baby girl, but got something extraordinary and rare. Angie and Gino were a couple meant to be parents. In fact, they even discussed baby names on their first date. Before they were married, Angie and Gino were settled. They wanted at least one boy and girl. Just a few months after their wedding, Angie was pregnant with their first child, a boy. The pair was beside themselves with happiness. 2 years later came another happy surprise, their second baby boy. This perfect parenting duo was all too joyous to welcome another little bundle to their family. As the days went by, Angie and Gino watched their little boys grow with all the happiness that only a mom and dad could feel. Their life in South California was everything anyone could want: a happy home, a loving partner, and two wonderful little sons. But as much as they loved their two sons, Angie and Gino felt a slight pang of longing for that baby girl they had wanted as a young couple. For years and years, they prayed for a little girl, but with no luck. Little did they know that their prayers were going to be answered in a way they never expected. One day, Angie started feeling some morning sickness, and she decided to take a pregnancy test. After a nerve-wracking 5 minutes, she saw the double red lines. She was pregnant. While Angie and Gino were excited to expand their family with another baby, they could not help but hope that this was the baby girl they prayed for. Already being experienced parents, the couple wasted no time in booking an ultrasound. Dr. Daneshmand started the procedure, and a few minutes in, he delivered them the wonderful news. Their prayers had been answered. It was a baby girl. Needless to say, the couple was ecstatic, but their celebration was brought to an abrupt halt when they realized Dr. Daneshmand was not sharing their happiness. In fact, he looked downright concerned. The couple paled, realizing immediately that something was wrong. Dr. Daneshmand was shocked. Such occurrences were so rare. This was a 1 in 4,000 chance. He found out that Angie wasn't pregnant with one baby girl, she was pregnant with 3 girls. As if this wasn't enough novelty, 2 of the 3 little girls had split from a single egg, making them identical twins. Not only were triplets rare, but they also meant a risky pregnancy for both the mom and the babies. The couple held hands as their doctor told them that Angie was now at a high risk of contracting many diseases. It only made matters worse that the possibility of a miscarriage lingered over them. But Angie and Gino were determined to bring these 3 girls into the world safe and healthy. And they didn't forget about their 2 little sons either. The couple started to interview nannies, purchased a minivan, and reached out to their friends and family for support. But nothing could prepare them for the trials ahead. Although they took all the care and precautions needed, at week 26, Angie started getting severe pains. Fearing the worst, they rushed to the hospital. Their worries only got worse when they found out that the pain was due to a fluid discrepancy, a possibly fatal condition for Angie and her babies. Even if they survived, the little ones were at risk of being born with brain hemorrhaging or underdeveloped lungs. Angie and Gino were not going to give up on their girls, not before the little ones even had a chance to enjoy their lives. They were ready to do whatever was necessary, however extreme it was. This meant that Angie would have to spend the rest of her pregnancy in the hospital. This was not by any means an easy option. Angie would have to spend her pregnancy alone in a hospital room. She would lose the loving company of her husband and her beloved boys. Meanwhile, Gino would have to take care of the boys while continuing to work. Their lives suddenly were thrown into a tight mess. Gino and the boys did everything they could to make things easier for Angie. The little ones brought her presents and took time to eat lunch with her on the weekends so that she wouldn't feel lonely at the hospital. And Gino was the perfect loving partner. He got creative and arranged date nights at the hospital, sharing dinner across her hospital bed. But preparing for the triplets was only going to get more complicated. The medical team monitored Angie 24/7. They were ready for any and every possible event. Even if everything went smoothly, it was still going to be a complicated birth. Angie wanted to make sure that everything was perfectly in place for her little bundles of joy to come out into this world. She told the hospital and got every detail of the birth procedure in place. As terrifying as things were, Angie stayed calm throughout the process. She felt stronger knowing that the hospital team had her back. Just as things were settling, fate threw in another curveball. One baby was smaller than the other two. According to Dr. Daneshmand, this put her at a higher risk of passing. The medical team monitored the babies more closely. They wanted to make sure that these parents did not have to suffer any tragedy. At week 30, the little ones were at risk of being born prematurely. If Angie could at least make it to week 34, the babies would have a much better chance of survival. The days got longer as they waited, anxious for their baby's arrival, worried for their safety. If nothing else, Angie and Gino knew that things don't happen the way you expect. So, when the triplets wanted to come out at a mere 32 weeks, everything was already in place to welcome them. Angie's medical team decided that a C-section would be the safest option for Angie and the triplets. In a few moments, the tiny triplets, weighing just under 4 pounds, were delivered. They were all ready to take care of the fragile little babies. Each baby went into her own advanced life support team to secure their health. Angie and Gino were in tears. For so many years, they had prayed for a daughter, and now they were blessed with 3 wonderful girls. They named the tiny triplets Daniela, Annabella, and Camilla Colonna. Every parent longed to hold their newborns, but this was not possible for Angie and Gino. Their newborns were fragile, and they needed all the help they could get. As expected, their little lungs could not support their breathing. The doctors were well prepared, and they opened the baby's lungs with breathing tubes. A few hours later, Angie could finally see her babies, although through a digital camera. Within 24 hours, the little ones were breathing on their own. Everyone joined in on the celebrations when Mom and Dad could finally meet their beloved daughters. They had waited for so long for a baby girl, and now they couldn't wait to hold them in their arms. The joy Angie and Gino felt as the nurses led them to meet their babies was worth every minute of hardships they went through in the past few weeks. Angie held her precious daughters and knew that despite all the twists and turns in fate they faced, everything was going to be alright. After a few weeks, the triplets had developed well enough to go home. Now, these 3 little angels could meet their big brothers. Angie herself had been in the hospital for more than a month. She was over the moon to be reunited with her dear family. With 2 sons and 3 daughters, Angie and Gino's lives were complete. For so many years, they prayed for a daughter. After all the trials and hardships, they were blessed with more than they ever asked for. The once tiny triplets grew up to be wonderful little girls and were soon celebrating their 6th birthday. With 5 energetic kids, all close in age, it was fun chaos all around the Colonna family. But getting through tough times was not something new for Angie and Gino. As a happy and healthy family of 7, the couple could not hope for more happiness in their lives. And that's the incredible baby story of Angie and Gino. Do you have any crazy baby adventures? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.